Greenup on the first.
The guilds.
The April 14th meeting to order with roll call.
Mark Harris.
Here.
Dave Black.
Here.
John Norman.
Here.
Bruce Mance.
Here.
Phil Dowdy. Jamie Gillen.
Here.
For everybody that's wishing to speak, if you already signed in, we're gonna go to the audience first. Christy Willis.
I just wanted to come down and ask if, I know we have a temporary speed bump that we could put out, depending on my street. It's just been awful lately, everybody has been flying up down that road, and my daughter and I got hit yesterday coming back on our driveway, so.
Where's your house with the signs?
It's this, the driveway is.
The signs.
But there's only 3 driveways on that street, me, Lisa, and Nicole. And like I said, every time you go to back out, pull out, it's somebody is flying, they don't look, they're on their phones. So I would love to have, at least for a while through the summer, I know during the winter with, the snow and ice and stuff, they can't, but as long as we can put it up for a while, it would be great. Absolutely, because there's kids that ride bikes on the street and walk, and like I said, we looked, there was nothing coming, and then all of a sudden, bang, we hit, so.
So you say there's only 3 driveways?
Yes.
And everybody is in agreement? That wants it?
Yeah, not like, if we could do it above my driveway, more towards the stop sign, would be wonderful. Because when people turn that corner, they turn it, they don't even look half the time.
They're more coming off Main Street or off of?
Off of East Main.
Off East Main.
We tried it one other time, and it didn't work out too good, because everybody in Greenup wanted speed bumps everywhere. And at the time, we couldn't afford to put speed bumps every night on the block.
Well, it's not like we
I know-
have
I
one
know
that's
what
not
you're
being
saying.
used,
I
correct?
know what you're saying, but we tried that and it didn't work.
Well, it was my kid that got hit, so I would love to have
Well, I
it.
know that. That's like his kid or her kid, she's like the
True.
same thing, but.
But if it's just that number not being used, then you're asking for it.
Okay.
That's what it's gonna say.
Well, that stop sign there is right.
The speed ditch doesn't slow them down much?
Huh?
The speed ditch doesn't slow them
No,
down much?
absolutely
It's where
not.
they're coming off that road.
Yeah, they
Or
turn
coming
both
off the other
sides,
road.
but it's mainly coming, this way towards Walnut.
Just temporary. We're not saying all the
Oh,
time.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it'd be nice to have one that you could temporarily move it around to different parts of the town, and slow down areas that we have.
It's gonna go past my house. Oh, shit.
Is the one that we have, is it rubberized deal that you
I
drive
think
the
you
face
just-
in and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Do we just have one of those or 2? Yeah. Yeah.
Does it require a motion or anything to do that?
I'd prefer a motion.
I'll make a motion for temporary to be used there and that we can move it other places.
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion?
Discussion, if that ends up solving the problem, we might order a couple more to put at different places, to slow traffic, and, like I said, problem areas that we have,
I get it, nobody likes to drive over them, I don't really either, but like I said, it could have been any of our kids there, or us, or.
We did that on Main Street, and that didn't work out so well, but.
But this is a side
You're talking about the side streets.
Yeah,
And personally, I use your street probably 90% of the time.
absolutely.
To come in and go to my house. So, like I said, Main Street doesn't work out really well, but I can see where the side streets would be
Yeah.
advantageous if it's a temporary situation where we move them around,
Yeah, I mean, people come down through there, they don't even look. I've actually had my water line got fixed there. It was still had the cones up, and a lady in a van come through and drove right through it and out the other side and never even stopped. So, I mean, it's just.
I've got hit multiple times with
Yeah.
police when we walked on like where Ann Townsend lives, I mean, I had to push her out in the grass, and I had to jump to get away from the car one time. I saw, I definitely see a need where we can put them there, at least on a temporary basis, so people can.
And that's fine, as long as it would make it deterrent to slow down, or maybe use different, you know, whatever.
It wouldn't bother me to put one at Fifth Street there at the overhead, right at the stop sign, so they don't run the stop sign. You know,
I think one of the keys to that is coming down East Main in this direction. When people want to go to Riverside Drive, they don't turn right there in front of where Ann Townsend lives, because it's hard to get across right there. They go one down to the next.
Everybody comes to our street.
Exactly.
Mark Harris,
yes.
Dave Black. John Lewis.
Yes.
Bruce Mance.
Yes.
Bill Dowdy.
Yes.
Jamie Gilman.
Yes.
Brooks Johnson.
Yes.
I guess basically I can have a few questions in regards to the ordinance that the city has. About 4 years ago, I suggested that maybe we put all the ordinance in one place and anybody could come in and get a copy of them at any time. And at the time, I was told, you're working on it. That's been over 4 years ago. Still working on it? Well, who enforces the ordinance anyway? All ordinance. They enforce all of them. How many committees we got in this council? One. Committees. This is it. I said committees. How many committees do we have on the council? I don't know. Well, I mean, you're passing ordinances. It's been passed 10 years ago. I mean, shouldn't the council have a committee to come in here and go through them and put them all together and see where you're duplicating and everything is?
Now, we've been updating some of the ordinances.
Who?
We've voted on a few updates.
I'm talking about a committee working. Don't have it, man. No doubt, committee, finance committee, negotiating committee, nothing.
Well, we have a negotiating committee with contractors, and then once we have our contract,
That's fine.
that committee.
Why is it we never get a committee report from the council at the council meetings?
Contracts,
I mean, on anything. Why?
well, when something presents itself,
Well,
they want to come in.
I mean, should the public be aware of what the council is doing? Or are they not doing anything?
No, I agree on that.
Probably a good thing the governor married, they don't want himself to do both jobs. Nothing would get done if it wasn't for him.
He was here last year. Once that grant comes open, I'll be applying for that grant. He's gonna do hopefully the same thing for this office as he did for Andrews, put everything online, get us all up to speed.
But in the meantime, when the council be working on something.
Well, if you need a certain thing, just come ask. for it.
Well, I mean, say I was reading it down, and I wouldn't know what all ordinances there is and not. Should I be able to come and get a copy of it? Should be able to. I mean, if we had a functioning council, they could get done. You know, what are you being paid to do? I believe that.
Well, now, Dave, that's your opinion, you know, what you did. But, you know,
Well, answer
I
Matt's
try to
question
do
then.
this and that and stay up on top of some things. The ordinances, we've been trying to get those online to where you can go look at the ordinances in town. But it does cost money and time to get it to that point.
But in the meantime, couldn't you be getting it going manually?
I believe that we are trying to do that right now.
We don't even have a committee.
That done.
You don't talk about money and time. That's what they pay for. They pay to get there. That's their money. So, I mean, we can't say money and time because that's their money.
Agree.
Well, it's the next ordinance, I guess I can talk about it, and he comes up with a trailer ordinance, and now the time to get it, probably best to wait.
Wrong.
Thank you.
Do your laws.
Well, I'm here to ask about the traffic on Walnut Street. We now have 5 new families on Walnut Street. And the family next to us has a 6-year-old child and 10 small grandchildren. Walnut Street is the busiest street in Greenup. And we have speeders that come through there. I see them every day. And the speed detector does help. And the police officers cannot be at every place all the time. But coming out of town, I know there's 2 signs that state 35 miles per hour. But nothing is being done about the speeders coming out of town. And I'm requesting, and when we spend all this money for everything else, signs and everything else, that we're not keeping our people and our properties safe. We're not keeping the families and the people safe on this street. And I see people speeding through here every evening. I enjoy sitting on my porch. I should be able to sit out there and enjoy the quiet, but you can't. What's going to happen when one of these kids next door runs out after a ball? What price are you going to put on that child's life? I know it's a state highway, and I know a speed detector costs over $4,000. I know that. But like I say, the police department can't be every place at one time. But if we want to make our town nice and beautiful, that's great. But what about putting safety first? I know the speed detector coming into town works. I've seen it. I know exactly when it's not working. But coming out of town at 4:30, I see these people who work at the courthouse coming out. And I see people right here who drive too fast. I see them. I don't sit there and watch for them, but I see them coming out of town. And those children, our lives have to mean something. Our property is valuable to us. And I'm just saying, we need to be safe. We need to put safety first. It's great that we put all these things out for people to come in and enjoy our town. But if we're not safe, then what? We have to be safe, and we deserve that. And those children next door and on our streets, the 5 new families, they come in here and they expect to be safe. They expect to enjoy our town. And I expect to have a speed detector coming out of town. It's not too much to ask to be safe.
Judy, have you been down to the county to see if they could assist us in patrols and things like that? You know.
Well, I know it's a state highway. I've been to the state police.
Maybe Bobby could help us write a letter. We wrote numerous letters trying to get it lowered to 25, and the state has said no. And we tried that for a whole length of time. But maybe Bobby at the courthouse could maybe write us a letter, write them a letter, and maybe he's got more pull than we do, and get some assistance in either lowering it or have more patrols from the county. You know,
I have tried that also, and they said it's been grandfathered in, but I can try with Bobby. I will try anything.
Oh, yeah.
I have asked Lundy before to move that speed detector closer to the overhead. You know, because if you move it closer, they're going to see the speed detector and slow down as soon as they see the speed detector. Now, the school bus, I don't know what the street is across from Riverside Drive, that entrance to Walnut Street. The school bus comes out on Walnut Street right there every evening. That school bus almost got hit yesterday evening. But I will try Bobby Hall.
That's what we try. And I would love to have 4 or 5 of those detectors that we have now. You know,
I'd just like to have one more coming out of town.
But there's also a problem, people coming off the bridge down here at the other end. I know several people at the other end, they'll be backing out and someone's flying off that bridge at 35, 40 miles an hour. And then they have to pretty much just put it in drive, you know, so
Well,
probably went that way.
but they need to be here. I'm here.
Well, I mean, they've talked to me personally, so I'm their advocate, so that's why I'm saying that.
Okay. Well, I'm an advocate for the people on Walnut Street, and all the new, we got 5 new families on Walnut Street. This is the busiest street in town. And I wish we could lower it to 25 runs for the rest of the street that has. It's 25 million.
They, coming off that bridge, they're not coming 25.
So 25. I respect the speed limit. Because I know what it is. And coming off the overhead, there's children always right there. There's golf carts, now this is summertime, spring and summer. We have to protect the lives of all the people, whether they're children or older people. And I will get in touch with Bobby.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's
And I
anything
have
we can
written-
do.
I have written many letters to the state asking.
Oh, yeah, we have 2 here at the city, and it's just telling them that here, it's sad.
Well, I have written Dark Marmot even, and there was nothing. But, you know, I'm just asking for another speed detector here. And there are 2 signs, 35 mile per hour signs right here, but people just, it's just like we're not there.
Well, I agree.
That's just like what you said, though. These detectives don't stop nobody, and police can't be everybody. So we're spending money on detectives that the police still can't monitor because they're not here.
But I
I
can
mean,
tell.
the monitoring comes with us. It don't come with the gauges or the police, it comes with us.
But when those detectors are working, people slow down.
They slow down till they get past it, then they go back again.
No, you can watch them and they slow down, and they know the police department is right here, they're going to really slow down. So, I mean, you can go up there and sit in my driveway and watch them. But the speed detector that we have coming into town needs to be moved up closer to the overbridges. Because people on the Riverside Drive, they have a difficult time getting out on Walnut Street.
That whole section is difficult.
Yes, and across the street coming out, and that school bus. And all the children next door, all those 10 little grandchildren. You know, their lives have to mean something. All the lives on Walnut Street must mean something. That's what I'm saying. They have a right to grow up and have lives. Anyway, I'm just putting this out there. If we have money to spend on many things, then let's put safety first.
Well, maybe we could do some extra patrols up through there in some target areas that we have and get those spots like that and just start writing tickets. Of course,
I agree. Well, just keep writing the tickets. If they come across whoever's letting them out, these tickets come across these desks often enough, maybe somebody will get tired of saying, we're gonna keep letting them off. They don't want to keep letting them off. So I will get with Bobby and see if something can be done.
yeah.
Something can always be done, okay? Something can always be done.
Yeah, that's a problem area. Like I said, we've tried that for years to have that lowered.
You know, there's been 2 people killed on the street. It's been years ago that there's been 2 people killed on Walnut Street.
He was, one of them was my cousin.
Even from Dave's house, it stops about right around Dave's house. It's 25, and then it goes.
The sewer meter will stay.
Yeah, it goes 35.
The church.
That's the church.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming.
All right, we need to go into executive session on personnel if somebody wants to make.
I'll make a motion.
Motion. Second. real quick.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Dave Black, John Wood.
Yes.
Bruce Mance.
Yes.
Bill Downing. Jamie Gilpin.
Yes. I shall return.
Got a motion to come out of executive session. Jamie made it, Bruce second. Roll call.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Dave Black. John Norman. Bruce Mance.
Yes.
Bill Downing. Jamie Gillen.
Yes. For the abundance of time, you guys have my report in front of you guys. I'm not gonna sit here and go through it. We've still got 12 things on the agenda, and we've got to hear from Richard Howard. So if you guys have got that, if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me a text, call me, stop in, jump the truck with me, do whatever you guys do. Richard Howard.
Good evening, council. Don't have much to give you other than just get started working on the water line project on Route 1. Brandon out there laying pipe in 2 days. That section sometimes and then they jump on out for further sections. Take a little longer than what we have. Says we should have it done.
Oh, he put in approximately 1,000 feet of middle.
1,000 foot a day. Lay pipe. So good news is it's under.
Do you have a floodplain permit?
I did, but they had one question. Talk about it. Stop by tomorrow. Talk to Phil about it. We can do a additional approval if we want.
That'd be fine. Are you prepared to go over it?
Like I said, we need some more information in, and he's going to bring pictures and things like that, so we can verify.
You good with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Not without them, unless you're prepared to.
Now, you want to verify. Okay.
Sounds good.
Last thing we got from KDOT is we're still trying to nail down the final okay on the go to bid. Hoping that
Till they say go to bid, just hold no range.
Mobile
That's
home.
that now, see, I'm sure you know. I was supposed to already pay that too.
Oh, yeah, Greenup Annual Trade Day is hosted by Greenup Communication Committee, June 6th, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. downtown. Next item on the agenda is, have you guys had time to look over the minutes? I know you got them late. Do you all want to pass those at the next meeting, or do you guys want to go ahead and pass them tonight?
Right now, I make a motion to approve.
Motion on the floor. Second, is there any discussion? Roll call.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Dave Black.
No.
John Norman. Bruce Mance.
Yes.
Bill Downing.
Yes.
Jamie Gillen.
Yes.
All right.
I sent you all, or I think you got, at least that's not clear, a proposed ordinance to modify your existing zoning ordinance. And what this is gonna do is regulate manufactured home in the city with in the items that you can regulate. So assuming you are aware of your current, what you can regulate is set forth in section 5. Which will go, I just picked 9.6 to modify, and plan and zoning committee to change the we may make a different recommendation. First thing that you can actually modify is the roof pitch. Those numbers, I inserted those, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know anything about roof pitch, and I bet at least one of you does. Hopefully, I discovered through research that that's an average homes, 4 by 12, 4 of 12. It can be what you want, but it can't be any different than you would have for single family residence. The next subpart B, square footage of livable space. I think I picked that out of some ordinance. You may need to do this one. What will also impact is that in R1, the lights have to be a certain size, so we won't have a house. When it comes to the exterior finishing, that is my language that I picked. The way that I wrote it is exterior finishing materials for the homes. It could be wood siding, vinyl siding, gritstone, hardened plank on the internet. The exterior finish manufacturers shall not manufacture metal siding. That's up to you. Foundation scope, you can regulate that. So I made a suggestion, but I don't get elected, and so it's up to you. I said that it should have a foundation skirting the same type as the exterior finish of the home. It shall not be metal. The foundation is block. It's to be covered with skirting, material, brickstone, or siding, the same material as the rest of the home is covered. And finally, subpart E, the setback restrictions, lot dimensions are the same as those of any other single-family residence. We changed that because that was one specific thing that we talked about. This thing's relevant to these to be treated. We require the trim at least as well as single-family residences, sticky. But that's it. Now, how this works is, when you all have a first reading, it doesn't have to be tonight, you can. This will then get sent, I'll send this down to the planning and zoning committee. It'll be down there, who's the representative on that. I'm the representative of development, I'll have to do this and we'll vote. And then the planning and zoning committee has a choice to make a recommendation to say, yes, you should do this, or no, you shouldn't at all, or here's our proposed modifications. And it comes back to the council, who will ultimately make a decision. So, it doesn't matter to me what you all want to put in there. I just suggest you go and discuss it if you're going to A through D. I think E, probably you all agree. If you're wrong, you probably agree the setback, lot dimensions, and orientations of the home shall be the same as those filed found within the ordinance of the city. So I'll turn it over to the council for the call and answer the question.
And I will say this, correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, in between the first reading and the second reading, you can make changes. So,
Well, you could, you can and you can't. First reading goes down to our planning and zoning. Yeah, and so then they can make changes. If you're gonna change it different from what they suggest, then we gotta go through the whole process again. So in this situation, you wanna send to them what it is that you want them to consider. So,
On B, it's a square footage. Is that the square footage of our current zoning for moving?
I believe that it is, but you can modify that in any way that you can. I'll let you know.
I like to change it to 412 is a good. Look through the city, we've got very, very, very few 412 houses. Pretty much an average of 5 to 6 12 pitches in town.
I've never that change. I didn't, I'm aware of what a pitch is supposed to be, but I don't know how to, yeah, I'll probably will, but I don't know what it is. I've made that change too.
On the original here, it says, when the first got paper, it says 900 square foot or 1,200, 900 each base. In the original paper, we got to state. Depending on your lot, it could be 900 square feet, correct? Is that readable?
The state allows one that small unless you all regulate it, but you all can regulate it differently. So you could allow a 900 square foot single family residence, right down this one.
So my thing is, if somebody's old as me and live by myself, I don't need a 1,200 square foot house. It's gonna cost me an extra $40,000 to build it. I mean, you're taking away from some of the people who's by themselves or just don't want no big house. When you're limited, when you say you gotta start out 1,200, you're costing them quite a bit extra money.
Well, it's just, I think I got that number from maybe got it from the average, I got it directly from ordinance, but it's literally up to you all, whatever you all want to sit down. It can be,
And get the time, and some of these people's ages. A smaller house is a whole lot easier to clean and keep up than a bigger house.
Can we, discuss them and then bring it to the next meeting? Do we have time? Let's do that. Because it sounds like we've got a lot more questions or something like that.
Yeah, another thing is, we'll be backing up. It doesn't say about the age of the mobile homes or nothing in this thing right here. If I buy a mobile home that's 7 years old, and I spend $60,000-$70,000 for it, people say, you can't set it up. And I'm stuck.
it's true.
So that needs to be in this thing right here too, so everybody knows.
Well, something else, and I know this probably would never happen, but let's say somebody wanted to use a Spanish stucco type of dwelling. A lot of those have rock roofs, flat rock roofs on it. You don't know what they want to build. And you could probably build that with this ordinance, you could build that in town, correct?
That's a very good reason for you all to think long and hard about it.
Hard about it.
What Dave said, what you said, yeah, I mean, that's a very good reason. I don't build homes for a living, I just write ordinances.
No, I don't know.
I think the best thing you all can do is talk about it and we know what changes.
I'll make a motion we table this for further discussion.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
What's the motion?
Table. So we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Dave Black.
Yes.
John Norman. Bruce Mance.
Yes.
Philip Downing.
Yes.
Jamie Gillen.
Yes.
Next item on,
And since we're on these mobile homes, you got trailer parks on most homes, they're leaking. So are we gonna make them have the flood plain and all that good stuff too when we bring one in, or how's that gonna work?
tell them to get prepared to answer.
Can we change the existing rules for developers in town, or is it grandfathered in?
Depends on what rules you would want to change.
Going back to zone.
Yeah.
Zone for the trailer park.
Something else on the flood. We need some type of sticker so we know who's coming in, who's going out, because you move trailer in overnight, so what's been sitting there 2 years? It hadn't been sitting there overnight. I mean, if we keep track of it, just keep track of everything, so that everybody knows what's going on.
Right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? Roll call.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Dave Black.
Yes.
John Norman.
Yes.
Bruce Mance.
Yes.
Phil Downing.
Yes.
Jamie Gillen.
Yes.
Ordinance pertaining to fires.
I brought this ordinance last time. I looked into it. I think you need the ordinance. What this ordinance does is transfer, I wrote it for them, I'm their city attorney. I wrote it for all of the cities except Belfast. But basically, on everyone's homeowner's insurance, if you have it, if you look, there's an amount of money that your homeowner's insurance will pay if there's some construction to volunteer fire. So we're paying that to have that covered, but we don't have any grant to recover the money. So I wrote an ordinance that says that we will recover it, but only if there's insurance. So if someone's house catches fire, and that isn't included as a coverage, they don't pay it. But if they do, then we can get it from State Farm also. So I just see it as money left on the table. And we might as well go ahead and try to get it. The worst that happens is we don't get anything. And God knows I hope we don't, so we hope we don't have any house fires, right? But it also includes automobile accidents and any other calls that our fire department responds to. So maybe it's not a lot of money every year, but I mean, up to 10 years, maybe it ends up being enough to buy some your air packs or something. I just need some investment.
Well, we do a lot of meetings with aid for accidents and things done on 23, for sure it is. But that doesn't encompass a fire at all.
And there might be someone there to get.
That would
Only
cover
for
the ones that count.
Well, any of them that you go to, you're gonna be able to build.
Okay.
It's, it might be,
So if we go
first.
around one, we can.
Yeah, I think we need to build.
Even if you're used to doing mutual aid, it's still a
We
count.
need to build. Sure. So I need to have a first reading of something.
I'd love to hear it first.
Okay. In order to the city of Greenup, Kentucky, set a bill fee for fire department responses for automobile accidents, structure fires, and other responses made by the city of Greenup Volunteer Fire Department, providing that said fee be waived in the event that there is no insurance to pay the fee and authorizing the mayor to enter into collective agreements for said fee. So that's your first reading on the back section.
Next item on the agenda is golf course ordinance.
So, I brought back a golf cart ordinance that will authorize golf carts in the city. That's now controlled for everyone to know by what you see in front of you, KRS 189.286. This follows the wording of the statute. The thing that I have added to it, and I think the only thing I added to it, is the streets that they could be authorized on. They're not authorized on US 23, across US 23 for any reason. They're also not to be operated on the overpass, or operated on the approaches to the overpass, which is from US 23 continuing down North Street. But any other city street, they can be operated. Now, to let you all know, if you're operating on a city street, you gotta be 16, you gotta be insured, there's a permit fee, because you're gonna have to issue permits, and it's gonna be, that's what the state says. Remember, the state controls, not cities, the state controls what can operate on the street and what can't. It's not up to us. So,
So you got a man and woman, do both of them need to have a permit, or just one on that golf cart itself?
the golf cart itself gets the
Okay.
permit, and then you have to have an appropriate driveway.
Okay. And there's something else too, like Andrew who lives across the highway. You saying that he can't bring his golf cart across the highway?
That's right. You're not allowed to be on that 4-lane road by state law.
Not needing to cross it.
Let's put it on a trailer first, I guess.
What about Walnut Street now, it's state road?
It has to do with the 4-lane, not with the state road. It's the speed limit. Yeah, it's the speed limit. Now, if they drop that to 35, maybe. But I don't think they're gonna do anything for us, so. Yeah, but it's the speed limit that gets you. So.
Somebody like to hear the first reading?
In order, the city of Greenup, Kentucky authorizing the use of golf carts with the city of Greenup, Kentucky pursuant to KRS 189.286. I'll bring your second reading back next time.
Oh, my question. I was looking over section 2 there. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think I did. I haven't seen in it, and I can remember golf carts that are equipped with stop with brake lights. They got tail lights, headlights, turn signals, they're not brake lights.
Yeah, some are. Mine is too.
But there's not that many of them, is there?
Well, you have to buy a little pad that you put on your brake. When you hit your brake, it engages your back lights.
Like a Bluetooth device is what it
It's
is.
not Bluetooth device, it's hardwired. But it's a little sensor pad.
That's electric type switch.
Yeah.
So you said you gotta have that little shield on the back of it.
Yeah, nobody has that.
Slow moving
So they're all have
sides.
to get that, yeah.
Those stop, those brake lights, that's one of the requirements. Just to be inspected. Should be inspected.
Who is gonna inspect it?
Well, the sheriff designates someone, I think, under state law, so my guess is he'll designate someone in the city. It's what I bet he does.
So we got an idea what that's gonna cost to get your golf cart inspected?
$25 is the section.
25?
Yeah.
I think that's for a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know about the inspection. I don't, it might be the sheriff says that. But if he has the city, I mean, I just assumed that that's what Sheriff Smith would do, is designate someone else besides someone else office. That's his choice.
So you've had your first reading, Jefferson Mills?
I was gonna, you have to have driver's license and all that good stuff, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
16.
16, driver's
Yep.
license, all that good stuff, okay.
That's the law.
So at your first reading, you'll have the second reading, be back on the agenda for next month. I left on there the bid out utility truck, and that was left over from the old agenda. We did not rebid the truck that both Steve Warwick and Brandon Wolf bid on the last time. Brandon Wolf, obviously with everything that has taken place that you guys are aware of, that ad didn't get in the paper. Brandon Wolf has withdrew his bid. I have talked to the other gentleman that bid, and he is willing for his bid to stand at $500. However, you guys can accept his bid, if that's what you choose to do.
I'm not supposed to accept it.
Can you actually do that? Can we just bring it back up? Because you have a high bid, can we just actually bring it back like that? Stephen?
I think you can, since Brandon withdrew his bid. Now, Brandon didn't withdraw his bid.
Well, I know that, but I know once
But since he
once you
did
brought
that-
it back, it's start all over again.
No, I think the real picture is just today.
So that was for $500. Y'all remember that? So we had a motion by Phil and seconded by Bruce. Is there any more discussion? Roll call.
Mark Harris. Dave Black. John Mormon.
Yes.
Bruce Evans.
Yes.
Bill Downing. Jamie Gilman.
Yes. Shell Beach, Alpine Village. These are Alpine Village sewer rates.
The proposed ordinance does an increase of $5 per 1,000 gallons starting July 1, 2026. This brings an additional $7,638 in revenue. We're just trying to get closer to recoup the cost of maintaining the aged sewer plant. There's a lot of labor and a grinder pump over there. This increase goes into two phases. Another one, July 1, 2027. We're trying to make it as best as we can on the customers, which will bring in an additional $10,398. The third part of the ordinance will add a surcharge. We did like a $33,000 capital investment of pumps and grinder pumps. Even at this $5 a month, it's going to take you all 10 years to recoup your money. So that's my proposal to get you all closer to not losing so much money. Because if you lose money on Alpine, obviously your citizens are making it up within the sewer system. So we're trying to get where we can recoup some of the cost and labor costs, cleaning it out and maintaining it. Anybody have any questions?
Would it be cheaper to redo it, or to keep putting money in the old plant like that? I mean, you keep throwing away good money for no reason.
I wish it would, but plants or any kind of infrastructure right now are just, even that is attained just to them. It's not the citizens, it's the sewer plant. It was an expensive dollar.
Yeah,
Paid for it.
you're right. Yeah. So it'd be $5 per month, and then,
$5 per thousand, and then $5 per month.
Huh?
$5 per thousand, and then it'd be $5 per month. That would be attained as you try to put some grinder pumps in there to lessen your labor of having to clean it out. a grinder pump will take out stuff that's getting into the sewage plant, and rather than your staff having to go out there and pull them all out.
Well, I was told they couldn't put grinder pumps up
Well, we've got grinder pumps. And
I'm an accountant, that's about
there. How about on
these are from EJP. They found those. We haven't got around to the point yet of going out and see if it will match up to the railing. We think it will. If it doesn't, then whenever we rehab like a lift station here in town, what goes first is the railing systems on those pumps. So those railing systems that go down into the well out there more or less may have to be retrofitted for those grinder pumps. The reason why we're having to pull them and the reason why there's so much maintenance out there is because they'll flush mop heads, they flush baby wipes, and it says on, baby wipe manufacturer, I believe we can see, but it says flushable. Flushable doesn't mean pumping.
And it's a good education for customers too, because if the cities are incurring the cost of things you're doing, those costs usually go back to you. So that's a good educational.
How long have we been pulling money out there?
Since I was a kid, probably.
That's what I'm saying. About it.
I'm getting old. And I'm getting old, so it's been years.
I don't think your proposal is enough.
It's probably not. It's just the human part of us is trying to get, you can't do nothing for years and then all of a sudden, we're going to raise your bill $100. So it's just trying to work it up to where you all are recouping a little bit more of your money from the customers that are causing you expense.
We're going in a whole year.
Yes, you are.
And it's hard to saddle the citizens in town for that burden.
It's a balancing act.
What's the CPI?
It was 5% last year.
Wow.
Yeah. Chemical costs, pipe costs, infrastructure, anything that you're building is crazy.
You were telling me that a good plumber can go out and figure that out and take care of that problem?
If we could, we could make a lot of money because
Well, we got to contact him first.
we upgrading another sewer substation was $3 million this year that we did it in Ashland. So it's just like so much stuff. There's just so much money right now.
But you're talking about something entirely bigger than we actually need to.
Well, but even like a small substation,
I
it's
mean,
180.
people keep moving off out there because they can't stand the cost, so.
But it's a cost that you're gonna bear in any geographic region around here when it's, a sewer plant or a water plant costs $100 million.
Would anybody like to hear the first reading of that ordinance?
An ordinance of the city of Greenup, Kentucky, amending ordinance 15-123, modifying sewer rates pursuant to outside the city of Greenup, Kentucky. First reading.
First reading, we have the second reading on the next amendment. My memory serves me right, it's $132, maybe some change late. $132.92 per ton, that's late. So I will tell you that from talking with Henrietta County and Ryan at Mountain, Blacktop is going to take a steep increase in the month of July. So that's why I'm trying to get this price locked in early. Mountain's not real busy right now, trying to get the price locked in and get them down here to do some paving.
Do you have any idea how much you want to spend this year?
Michelle,
I think it was 50,000.
50,000 doesn't feel very long. I drove every street in town the other day. And obviously, we're not going to be able to do all of these. Give it a rough estimate. a lot of it's simple stuff. At Cherry Street down by Bill Vaughn's sewer plant, Chestnut Street by Steve Codirons, Cedar Street by Joe Codirons. There's a spot over in front of Steve Hyman's house. I wrote down the jail curve, so when you're going around the jail there, Waterfront Street, there's a drainage issue there, where they've got some gravel that needs to be paid. I've got down the police parking lot, fire department parking lot, water plant lot, needs desperately city park lot, a section of Lincoln Avenue and Ashton Court, and the left side of Sycamore Street going towards the health department. And also, if you remember right, Laurel Street in front of Wynn Street, we got received FEMA money for that. So during that process of fixing that drainage problem over there, and we will use those funds for blacktop to fix back Laurel Street and some of Sycamore Street off of that funds as well. And while we're over there, we ran into a problem on Saturday, this past Saturday, there was a leak on Sycamore Street. And some of those folks over there are still tied to the old galvanized lines. So we have plastic line on one side and galvanized on the other. We couldn't find the valve to get it shut off. We think we know where it's at, but it's on the blacktop. So whenever we tear up Laurel Street, fix the drainage problem, hopefully we'll be able to find that valve, shut it off, and switch everybody from galvanized over to the plastic. So those are the areas that I found in dire need. And obviously, all those aren't going to happen for $45,000, $50,000. There's no way possible.
Up there at Superman New, but at Devon, or whatever it is, there's some big holes right there on the highway.
That's on my list right now for 4th Street and Walnut to patch, Seaton Avenue. And hopefully they seeded behind your house today. I had that on my list.
Is that up there, Main Street, you got that on there?
We're at,
We put sewer across the street up there.
yes. Those are all, our guys will do that. So what'll happen is what we normally do is when they bring dump truck loads of asphalt down, our guys will come around, get the hot mix. We'll have those spots dug out. We'll go round by the blade bar one, and then we'll put those, that blacktop down.
It's pretty comparable to last year, we spent $54,000
Yes.
right around there.
Yes.
Your utility properties, you can have additional funds, because you do have utility money.
Correct. And then we also need to save for next year because we are county seat, so hopefully that grows out of the next budget.
Yes.
So, do you know if it's been passed yet or not?
Do not.
So I'll give you guys a little hope is that every county seat in the state of Kentucky, if it doesn't get vetoed and it did get passed, that we'll have $100,000 given to us for blacktopping, but it won't be a match. So they're going to give us $100,000, we've got to put $100,000 in. So maybe next year or in the next fiscal year for the state, then that will take place. So again, that's just, I don't know if it's been vetoed yet, I don't know if it's passed. So. But that's the price, $132.92 per ton.
What was the last year?
Spring cleanup, man.
I'll need a motion or table it or vote it down.
I'll make a motion
I'll second.
To
to go.
accept that bid.
To accept that bid.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? Yeah. That's why I want to get that price locked in. Even if, Ryan told me even if they got real busy, once we get the price locked in, I can sign it. And then even if it's after July, if they get real busy before we're ready, and we're still locked in at that price. Went up just a little bit, nothing.
Yeah.
there any more discussion? Roll call.
Harris. Dave Black.
Yes.
Bruce Vance.
Yes.
Bill Dowdy.
Yes.
Danny Gilmore.
Is that spring cleanup? And it's wide open. Where you are behind this year on Sunday. So you got just pick a week. I'll let Rob you know.
First full week of May.
I'm sorry.
First full week of May. You don't think?
So I know.
Well, that, when is that?
This one's about gone anyway.
What did you say the, trade days?
It's in June.
It's in June, okay.
The reason why I said the first full week of May, every week gets out to everybody.
Yeah.
We're kind of full right now, so.
Somebody wants to put it in motion. Rick. Somebody wants to put it in motion.
Good motion.
Have a motion first week in May. Right there. Yes. I'm sorry, never mind. You got it right here. Yes, go ahead.
Why don't we just set the fall cleanup right here now too, so we have it out of the way and everybody know, and then come up, we don't have to worry about that. Just set the spring and the fall.
It's up to you. I'm sure she doesn't have any dates right now for fall cleanup.
Who do they normally do that? Okay. The old fashioned days will probably be the, first, second, third.
Who's our first, second, third, fourth, October?
I think it's the first Thursday,
First weekend of October.
the first Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in October. And then the fair is, I think, 20 to 21st in September. Christmas on the square, it's the first Sunday in December.
Old fashioned days. We've got old fashioned days.
We need to get it, because we're running behind this time on this one. We don't need to run behind on the next one.
Just seems like that with the old fashioned days, everyone finds something that they're like, I need to get rid of this.
So we got, set some dates.
Make a motion, set, bring the fall cleanup.
Yeah.
First week of May is what we have.
First week of May. First week of, well, first full week of October, that's all, that's old fashioned.
And first week after Old Fashioned Days. First week.
Jamie made it, just think.
I might,
Filled it.
I just said.
We have a second. Somebody second that? I would normally do. Is there any more discussion? Roll call.
Harris. Dave Black. Sean. Bruce Vance.
Yes.
Bill Dowdy.
Yes.
Danny Gilmore.
Yes.
Number 8 on your all's agenda is to accept bid on utility truck, police cruiser, pickup truck. These are all off the state bid contract like what we normally do. These are from Bachman, who we bought before. The police cruiser is a Dodge Durango, same thing they're driving right now. It's got listed everything here that it's pretty much the exact same thing that they all come with. It's the pursuit vehicle. Make sure that they are the V8s. $43,465
For the police group.
for the police cruiser.
That's just the cruiser, it doesn't include
That
everything else.
doesn't include the,
That's the bottom.
Is that the VA?
that is the V8.
Is the V6 cheaper?
I don't think we've blocked the V6s because they had so much trouble.
Okay, that's good.
So that big paid for out, that's the money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some a big deal. And all this, these vehicles that you're buying, for the next fiscal year. We just gotta get them ordered now. So they'll be coming out August 9th.
Pick up the water guys?
Yeah.
It's all, no electric.
That's from utility.
Yes, this is the only one that comes out of jail. Dodge Drain. It will replace the backup cruiser that Roger Russell's driving now because his had some issues and recall. But again, that's $43,465.
And on the utility truck.
You want to do all three of them at the same time?
Let's do them all three.
All right, the utility truck. Is a 2026 Chevy Silverado, four-wheel drive, regular cab. I believe this one had the does come with the top rack on top.
Is this gas or diesel?
This one here is diesel. I'm trying to look, I can't remember if we've done this one with the lift and the bumper or not. Yes. It'll come with the upfitter switch, which provides 30. Yes, it does come with a mule float-away bumper crane, 2,000 pounds. That'll be the truck that we use to pull pumps at Alpine, pull pumps for our sewer, things like that. We've got one truck now that has the bumper crane in it now. This one will replace that. And it is a 2026 Chevy Colorado four-wheel drive crew cab. Four-wheel drive. 35,700.
It's gas.
Yes.
What model is that?
2026
I mean,
Chevy Colorado.
It's just a step down from the full size.
Yeah. Just a meter reading.
That's one of the numbers that was, yeah, it moves the twos and this is
This says 2026 Chevy Colorado four-wheel drive crew
Oh,
cab.
wow, that's a smaller truck.
It is. Just a meter truck.
That's just a meter reader truck, but you need a full cab for a meter reader truck.
Yeah, because when he's out there, he has equipment inside that truck. He's got his laptop, he's got the thing that runs the laptop that reads all the meters, and he's gonna have his tools in there. He just doesn't read meters, so when he's out there reading meters, and he comes across the dead, he makes. Anybody like to hear those numbers again? Anybody like to take any action?
I know this comes out of different pots of money here in the city, but, have we heard anything? I know FEMA shut down. I hate to spend this much with the road still shut down over there. I know it has not, but just, I'm afraid something's going to happen in an emergency over there, and I don't know.
they think people there, that's the guard, like your engineering is. They got photo bridges. We request one of them, to put on the other side of that.
I mean, I could go through,
That's just an idea.
I could go through emergency management, which is Garth Wireman over there, and see what he would tell us.
And just for emergency purposes.
Yeah, he would be the one to make those phone calls to see. I can tell you this much is that we got a little bit more supporting evidence. Our fire chief wrote it up, had a tree fall on Winifred, the 5th and Winifred, or 2nd and Winifred, and a train come by, and the lines were down. Could not get police, fire, nothing over there for approximately 27 minutes, I think is what it was. So once FEMA gets opened back up, we've got that supporting documentation to send to Gloria as well.
Everybody should have got forever.
They could be, and we're at that mercy. I mean,
That's why I'm asking maybe if we could.
I can make a phone call, all that would go through Garden, emergency management.
This coming, they fold down, it's like, yeah,
Well, I've said,
they run truck tanks across and they pay it.
Just, I would like an option just in case, because 10 or 15 years ago, we had a flood in May, and they just need there needs to be a exit that they can get out. Or emergency relief.
You could always go back and put the metal over the bridge, just go drive across the skyway, move the rocks, put that piece of metal across there.
Just the way
That's
to
the way
get
out.
kosher and just ambulance and firefighting. I think they just need access for that, or if we need to get people out of there quickly. Not use on a daily basis, just emergency.
Is there any action that you guys want to do on any of these 3 bids?
Did we just come get off that subject?
I just brought that out. We kind of got off subject.
How many utility trucks? What, that's replacing the one, I know the one truck is in that though. That one training or something.
I'm for
It's in that though.
Is there any way we hold off on some of these vehicles and get that money toward the bridge?
2 different parts of money.
Oh, wait a minute now.
Utility can't go for, the utility fund can't go for.
Well, did we split that once before, a year and a half ago? We took some out of one fund, some out of another fund to pay a bill?
The way we do it is, the water company, the city borrows money from the water company all the time, pay it back in some years. I would urge you guys to, and I don't know how else to say this, be careful what you say in a public meeting whenever we're dealing with FEMA. Please.
Well, that's true too, but we're dealing with people's lives too.
And I fully understand it. My mom and dad lived over there. I walked across the tracks in 1997 whenever it flooded. I get it, I understand it. But we have an opportunity here that we don't need to take a chance on losing $500,000. And if the wrong things are said, Mr. Black, then we're going to end up losing that money.
What's more important, the money or the body?
We do not have the money to replace that culvert. Now, if you guys want to scrap that whole entire idea, go over there and open it back up. And I'm gonna say this, because y'all have put me to the point to where I'm gonna have to say it, and we'll stand a chance on maybe losing. If we open up that bridge, then that money's gone. Period. You go over and put steel plates on it, you drive across it, that money's gone. If you go over there and you do anything other than what we've done to this point until FEMA reopens and we get a determination, whether it be they're gonna pay for it or they're not, if we go over there and we do anything, we've lost it.
Well, if they took it back once, what makes you think they won't take it back the second time?
Here's what I will tell you is that the money was never taken back. It was obligated. It was never, if you go back and you look at my monthly reports, it was never paid out like the rest of them had, or I'd have reported. FEMA has since to a shutdown. I can't make a magic wand and the federal government come back to work. But we don't need to take a chance on losing that money here.
But like Julie's talking about, somebody that runs a car, they're gone. Somebody get a car over there, you can't get to them, hell, they're gone. We're thinking something one way or the other. I don't have the answers, but the answer's out there someplace, we need to find it.
I make the motion that we buy the meter reading truck at what he said, the police cruiser, and on the $72,000 utility truck, let's have the mayor look at it and see if he can get that down a little bit. That's my motion. If there's what I'm saying is if there's a different model lower than a Silverado, you know, maybe like whatever it is, a little cheaper truck, but we don't want to sacrifice, we still need the crane and we still need it to be a 3500 or a single axle or whatever it is. But we don't need a whole lot of bells and whistles that brings up to $72,000. We can leave the CD player and the carpet out of it. That's my motion.
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion and a second on the table. Good.
One of the virtually the same place.
Yes.
Close to the same thing.
Yes.
If that plain truck is available, what I'm saying. like,
Is
you know
that
what I'm saying.
1,500, that's a 3,500 Silverado, correct?
Yeah, I feel I was trying to think like a customer or a work truck or something like that that doesn't have all the bells and whistles that we don't need. And if we could save money that way, yeah, that's what we want, you know. Yeah, and that's nothing against him, he's just going off what we got. But if we could save some money to put it other places, and the bridge or something like that, we need to take it. So. But we don't want to wait because these are going to be, we're going to get these vehicles next year, you know, so we do need to order them and get them going for the police department and utilities.
What I'll do is I will make a copy of this bid specs and send them to you guys on the utility truck. Let you guys look at what all it comes with. Because it does say here, it's just a regular work truck, 2026 Chevy Silverado, 3,500 four-wheel drive work truck.
I'm looking on Google right now,
But
their base truck says Silverado, then you got it, WT, XLT, LT, LS, Z71. Those are all upgrade packages too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, then I'm fine if that's the lowest we can get Silverado work truck for 72. I'm with that. Are you cool with that, David?
And I think we may have even paid more than that the last time. I'm almost for sure. But right now, we have a motion, unless you rescind your motion, we've got a motion on the floor with a second by Mr. Black to buy the Durango and the Chevy Colorado. Unless you two gentlemen agree.
And I agree for after Bruce clarified that, I'm for buying all three of them.
You will rescind the original motion.
You're going to amend your motion to include the utility truck.
Yep.
Does Mr. Black, do you agree with that? You want a second?
Mr. Black said you agree with.
So then we're going to put her to a roll call vote. We all need a vote. by just the two, you can vote them down. Or you guys choose, roll call. Nope. Nope, we're just doing the Durango and the Chevy Colorado. Got a motion and a second on the floor.
Harris,
Yes.
Dave Black,
Yes.
John Norman. Bruce Mance,
No.
Bill Dowdy, Jamie Gilman.
Abstain.
Motion carried.
I'll make a motion that we accept the bill of Silverado by itself.
We just did it, didn't we?
No.
We just did the two.
I know, but when you did that one, you just had the same motion over again. So if I come back and say, I don't want to change that motion, I just want the one truck, let's do the other truck. You can stay here all night, just go backwards and forwards.
This is it. This is the end of it.
So we have a motion on the floor, purchase these Chevy Silverado 3500. Is there a second? And someone already seconded.
I think that's Norman's second.
Norman second. Been here for 2 hours.
So basically, we're right back where we started off.
No, we've already bought the Colorado
I know.
and the Durango, now we're buying the
But I'm
utilities.
hitting that, there's all three in a package, now they're gonna be two in a package, one in a package, with the same money.
Correct.
Jeez.
Roll call.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Dave Black, John Norman.
Yes.
Bruce Mance.
Yes.
Bill Dowdy, Jamie Gilman.
Motion carried. The next item on the agenda is to vote and approve my appointment. We had Lacey Dixon, she resigned as our city clerk. My appointment will be Angie Bentley. You guys will need to either approve of or vote down my appointment as for her to be city clerk. Years ago, we made her assistant city clerk. She's obtained her license. And she has already been doing the job. So the only thing that's left for you guys to do is to vote on my appointment.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Roll.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Dave Black,
Abstain.
John Norman.
Yes.
Bruce Mance,
Yes.
Bill Dowdy, Jamie Gilman.
Motion carried. Angie, would you like to step up front with Stephen? Swear you in and get you sworn in.
Stand right there, and I'll sit on that side.
Someone out there's got a cell phone, you care to camera picture?
Stand over this way, and I'll get a better
I'll
picture.
take that.
All right, raise your right hand. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm. Do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States and of this Commonwealth,
of the United States and this Commonwealth,
and be faithful and true
and be faithful and true
to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
so long as I live here.
so as long as I live here,
I will faithfully execute,
that I will faithfully execute
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability
the office of city clerk,
the office of city clerk,
according to the law.
according to the law.
I also swear
I also swear
that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
that since the adoption of the present
Constitution,
Constitution,
I have not fought a duel with deadly weapons,
I have not gone through with the new.
in this state or out of it,
In this state or out of it,
and have not accepted a challenge,
and have not accepted a challenge,
nor acted in taking a challenge to anyone,
nor acted in taking a challenge for anyone.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Yeah, you're welcome. Someday someone's gonna do a lot, just know.
It's not
Not gonna be you.
That gets them every time.
It does. Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right, the next item on the agenda is to create a position for city clerk, billing and accounts receivable supervisor at set pay at $26.71. So we have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Dave Black, John Mormon.
Yes.
Bruce Mance.
Yes.
Phil Downing. Jamie Gilman.
Yes.
The next item on the agenda is to create a position, part-time position for front office. They will be supervised by your new accounts, billing and receivable supervisor. What I foresee happening there is that person will be working about 15 days per month as deemed necessary by myself and the department head. The thing I need is the position created and the pay set. I would suggest $15. That's just me.
What was that one?
The highest one right now is 12.50, I think. Is that correct? June, it's 12.50.
No, June is 15.
Does it?
June is 14.
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay. I'll make a motion.
So we have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion?
It's going to be one on the paper and stuff.
It will be first posted in-house for the union contract. And if the qualified candidate or candidates doesn't apply, then yes, it will be posted in the paper.
So they would work from what, first to the 15th and then maybe on past that if needed?
Maybe, or they could, like if somebody's got a vacation planned, it might be the third.
Right.
Most of the time, first through the 15th, while bills are due, that's when you get the most foot traffic inside the office. Is there any more discussion? Roll call.
Mark Harris,
I'm going to say no just because I wish it was 3 days a week, and that way we could keep the time down some on the hours that they make. So, no.
Dave Black. John Mormon.
Yes.
Bruce Mance.
Yes.
Phil Downing. And Jamie Gilman.
I'll break the top with a yes vote. So that motion carried. Next item on the agenda, and I just want to bring you guys up to speed. EJP is conducting a meter, we've talked about this in the past. They're underway right now with doing a meter study. They've been requesting information from Roger, but they'll be requesting information from Jeremy and Si. We've talked about it for a long time. Our meters are now approaching 20 years of age. They die out at that age. So in the month of May, EJP, I'm going to try to keep the agenda alive. EJP will be here to share with you guys that data that they're going to be finding as far as our computer software, our water loss through our meters, how much the meters are gonna be. This is something that not only us, but any city that has meters that are approaching 20 years old that are gonna be facing. And just for us here alone, you're talking about $1 million to replace all these meters.
Maybe we got another analog, right? We're going to choose this.
These are all auto reading meters, so nothing gets hand read anymore.
Analog is the same, that's all right.
Right. So we do radio. You can get so sophisticated, like Cannonsburg Water District, they can read every one of their meters from inside their building. They have towers set up. Now, we're going to look into that for the Lloyd area, Greenup area, where there's a lot of meters out in the county. That wouldn't do us any good, because you might have to drive a mile to the next meter. But for Lloyd area, Greenup area, we might be able to do like the WLGC tower, maybe the tower over here, and be able to just click a button at any time. Now, the beauty of these new meters are they do leak detecting as well. So once we get these installed, which is going to be a huge undertaking, is these meters will do leak detecting. Now, there's also a bad thing to meters. We started this back in 2010 of GPS and meters. We got away from hand reading meters. You know, my dad was, Roger Harris used to laugh because my dad would cover his up with insulation during the winter, and if nobody come around to read it, he'd cover that sucker up with dirt. He'd throw grass up. If I ain't gonna read it, I'm gonna cut grass around. So a lot of these meters are gonna be hard to find. So, but all that will be presented next month by EJP, as long as there's no hiccups with getting the data from us, getting the data from Jeremy, or anything else major happening that we have to pull them off on to something else.
What's it gonna cost us for them to come here and look at all this?
Free.
You got the price? Free?
Free.
This ain't those plastic ones that freeze, they breast.
These are
So we
canisters.
tried that before.
These are canisters. So that is your agenda. Somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
For a second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Dave Black, John Moore,
Yes.
Bruce Vance,
Yes.
Bill Bowden,
Yes.
David Gillis.
Yes.